Welcome to the Pledge Training Podcast. We have Tom back on the show.
Hello, hello, all my adoring fans. Good to be back again. I hear Dino's now the #1
Requested.
guest. Listen, if there was anyone that I would want to take my spot as the top guest, it would be Dino. So I'm glad.
It's true. Dino has been requested more, and my mom says
It's okay.
that he's the nicest, and she just said...
I didn't get any comments from
No,
you.
she kept talking about his biceps.
I mean, Listen, I've been working on mine, but it's not...
Just
they're
covering
not-
it up
yeah.
so you're humble.
Exactly. You know, but I'm glad for Dino. Maybe I'll get that top spot back.
I mean, silver's
We'll
a good color.
Yeah. But here we are. We're back again. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So today we are going to be talking about gym myths and pet peeves, as well as what the research says about some of them. And then we're going to dive into New Year's resolutions with our personal resolutions and suggestions on what y'all can do to make y'all stick through January.
Yes, indeed. So, gym pet peeves. Well, I've been thinking about it a little bit, but I'm curious to hear from your perspective as a professional here. What are some things that you see going on in the gyms that you think are maybe a little ridiculous?
Oh, geez. One that I'm guilty of, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus first.
Nice, good start.
Is taking my GoPro there and then harassing other gym goers to get video footage for my Instagram.
Yeah.
Come on.
You just gotta hire a videographer to follow you around all day, really.
I think so. Like,
I don't know what would be worse, actually, having a videographer in the gym or asking other people in the gym.
they need to have their own set of lights, like a ring light.
Right, yeah.
Occasional dun-na.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think to a certain extent it's good, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want, looking at your posture, seeing how you're doing things, like being corrective is good, but always nagging someone in the middle of their set, like, hey, could you record this? Yeah, hey bro. Could you record this video for me for my Instagram? Yeah, no, that's there's certain
Time and place.
Yeah, common courtesy. You gotta have somebody for that. You gotta have your go-to recording buddy.
That's true.
I think that's me most of the
It
time.
is. Actually. So let's see. I would say second gym pet peeve. So I call it protein shakes, and it's that people have to chug this magical pre-workout before they can perform in the gym, and then they have to chug a gigantic recovery shake immediately after their workout, or else no gains happen. And I think if you are dependent on 2 shakes to sandwich your workout to perform, I mean, we've lost the point here. Like, we're trying to be better humans.
The elixir of gains.
Exactly.
One must drink the elixir of gains before and after workouts.
Henceforth.
In order to lift at maximum capacity. I can hear that from across the gym. It's like a giant plastic bottle. It's got the little spring in it, and the top pops off. It's like, okay, all right. No, I mean, I think again, it's like same thing with recording.
Right.
It can be good to have, don't not take supplements. Take some supplements if you want, if you feel like it's going to help you. But feeling like there's some sort of dependency.
Correct. That is the issue. Though I will say it can be quite a placebo effect, like a positive placebo effect, just to be like, I'm ready.
Right. It's almost kind of like something that primes you for a habit.
Yeah.
That can be good for sure, but doing it subtly, maybe not, being all up in everyone's business with your shaker.
Yeah. So next gym pet peeve. So people that don't unrack their weights and that make excessive noise lifting moderate weights.
Right.
These big guys, bigger than me, you know, lifting like weights I can lift.
Yeah.
But just making sure everyone's watching.
Yeah, dropping it. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah. I think like run 1 rep max.
Totally.
Literally, whatever has to happen for you to get it up and get it right. Yeah, make it happen. But I think anything other than that, you know, kind of.
Yeah, if you're working near your max capacity, like, I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, go all out. I support you. I will grunt with you.
Yes.
You know. But yeah, if it's just like the warm up set.
Beat you on the warm up.
Yeah. So no, I get that, and also not racking your weights. How dare they? How dare they do that?
I know. Okay, so I was training everyone's favorite client, Judy, and anyways, we got a new 1 rep max today, by the way, guys,
Hey,
and 95 pounds
congrats,
on the deadlift.
Judy. Congrats, killing it. Yeah.
But anyways, we walked up in there, and there's a bar, you know, with 45-pound plates on the side. Like, what is Judy supposed to do
right.
if Judy wants to deadlift? By the way, Judy is a grandma. She will be able to move around these 45-pound plates at some point.
Right.
But right now, if she wanted to go in there and deadlift, like, she can't even get the plates off. Anyways.
Right. No, it's a good point. You know, I think there's a certain it's just about courtesy and not assuming that like everyone's at your level of strength. Like, not everyone's just tossing around 45-pound plates.
Correct.
So you know, just rack your stuff. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. Incidentally, nobody knows who anyone is, but the same person who does gym pet peeve, lifting moderate weights, making noises, also is often the one that does not put back his plates.
I didn't know there was a specific person.
I mean, maybe.
Okay. We're gonna leave this. We're not. This is not gonna be published. But I'm curious now to know. Is it me?
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I was busy flexing in the mirror.
Yeah, that one's a big one for me. I do that a lot.
Flexing in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm on my last set and I'm a little tired, I'm just gonna
take a break.
Yeah, exactly.
No, which side is my good side?
You know what's a pet peeve for me?
What?
Is unnecessary gym accessories. I think like the fitness industry in general is flooded with all sorts of like nonsense stretching and like all sorts of just items that are supposedly gonna help you do something better. The big one for me that I haven't seen this in a while though, unfortunately, is the like oxygen mask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Where like it's supposed to
the altitude trainer.
Yeah, altitude training mask, which was big. I feel like a year or two ago.
It was.
Which just makes you look like Bane from Batman or something.
For sure.
Which is
not
really,
that that's not cool.
Right, which is really the biggest selling point.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Like, I just want to roll up in there, like Bane.
Gotham City.
Are you done with that rack?
Yes. Exactly. So, yeah, maybe that isn't such a pet peeve. Maybe I should get one of those masks, actually.
Yeah. Everyday superhero wear.
Do you know what are some other accessories things like that?
Well, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that mask since you brought it up. So obviously it does not simulate altitude. It does make it harder to breathe. So if you are doing a aerobic set, so it's really not going to help you out if you're doing heavy lifting.
Gotcha.
Like specifically if you are training your aerobic system, it's going to, it can, not that it will necessarily, it can increase the strength of your respiration muscles.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
But it does not simulate altitude.
Right.
So it's not going to increase your red blood cells like altitude would.
The same amount of oxygen molecules are going in. It's just making it harder to inhale. Right,
which is actually one of the main adaptations in elite runners that decides which runner
like
wins.
diaphragms.
Yeah, because over time, if you train those muscles and they become more efficient, they use a little bit less oxygen. So they've actually done studies where they researched that, and they had people use a respiratory trainer, which is really more what that is,
Nice.
purposefully, and other people that didn't, and they were able to measure the amount of oxygen that those muscles use, and it was less doing the same work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they do work to some extent, maybe.
Yeah, but not probably in the way that they're using
People.
it.
Gotcha.
I don't know if they were training for a marathon,
Right.
but maybe.
Cool.
Yeah. But anyways, I hear you.
Yeah. It looks funny, you know.
Oh, and what I want to say about the protein shakes, backtracking a little bit. So what research has found about protein, so pre-workout, post-workout, if you have, like, there's not much of a difference in protein synthesis if you have your protein before or after the workout. But what actually matters more is that you get adequate protein within 24 hours of your workout session for maximal protein synthesis. So an easy calculation for that, if you want to use pounds, is if you're an athletic person, 0.6 to 0.7 grams per pound.
Gotcha.
Is what you want to hit in a day.
Gotcha.
If you're trying to gain protein, gain muscle mass.
Okay, so 60 to 70% of what your body weight is in grams. Interesting. Okay, good to know.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to chug it right after it, and it does not
Right.
have to be a whey protein,
Right.
which could be a quote-unquote dirty processed source
I've
that could cause
heard-
inflammation.
I don't. Have you heard about this? I heard somebody mention that like whey can actually, using whey protein can create this sort of like sludge in your like digestive tract, and it just kind of sits there and doesn't really do anything.
Yes. So I know the reason people like whey is because supposedly it's absorbed and it gets into your bloodstream quicker, which research says doesn't really matter that much. It just has to be within a 24-hour period.
Gotcha.
But also, I know that there has been a higher percentage of people that are regular protein drink users that have digestive issues and IBS.
Okay.
And so I think maybe that is what they might be talking about with the sludge.
Yeah, just.
They eventually have some serious digestive issues, and a lot of farting and
Oof.
other
Yikes.
sometimes.
Another pet peeve.
Yeah.
Farting in the gym.
No.
No good.
No good.
You gotta. I mean, at least just announce that it's gonna happen. You know, you can't just fart up a class, a gym class. Anyway, no. What are some other pet peeves? What else?
So for some reason, it seems like baby carrots. Like all my clients have been, when I put baby carrots as a snack that they can eat, I'm like, hey, why don't you just have some baby carrots and some hummus? Or,
Had some today. They're great.
Right, they're amazing. And they're like, oh, those are so sugary. And I was like, what? Like the raw vegetable? A raw vegetable is too sugary? They're like, yeah, well, I think I'm just going to have some pita chips. And I was like, wait.
Wait a second.
Like, that is way higher glycemic. Anyway, so I don't know, who has popularized the vilification
There's
of
an
baby carrots.
Anti-carrot farmer coalition. Clearly, that's.
They're probably wheat farmers.
Yeah, that might be it, actually. Yeah, trying to replace baby carrots. Baby carrots are a great snack. I love them.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the...
Vegan friendly?
Yeah, exactly. So, that's
A lot
interesting.
of beta-carotene.
I haven't
Probably
heard
what
that,
it was made
but
from.
I'm curious.
Name the freaking vitamin after it.
Yeah.
Beta-carotene. Come on.
Yeah, I think so. Interesting. Baby carrots.
Yeah, and that's why my skin is orange, guys. Seriously. No, it's real.
Beta-carotene?
Beta-carotene, yeah. I don't tan. I just eat my baby carrots. That's actually fun. True story. But, all right. Final pet peeve. Actually, no, I'm lying at two. So, trainers or just people, professionals, who think they have all the answers.
Yep. Yeah, I think
There's one strength training program.
Right. Yeah. Their strategy is like a religion. It's like an ideology. There's a lot of that in fitness in general.
Yeah.
And it's it's like, hey, listen, believe whatever you want to believe.
Right.
You know, like do whatever works for you.
Yeah, and
but,
promote
like,
that. That's cool.
Right, and promote it, but like, you know,
Have an open mind.
you don't have to push that on other people that are doing other things.
Right.
And it can't just be for the sake of like disagreement as well. You know, I think a lot of people want to like expose, you know, other types of fitness or something, and be like, oh, this workout, this exercise really doesn't like do what you think it does, just for the purpose of like making somebody, like putting somebody down for it.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think that's really helpful.
I think people getting to the gym, or you know, people exercising, like they don't have to at the gym. People going out and moving and being active, and trying to eat real foods close to nature is the most important. Like, you know, that's what you need to do. And then all these other like things that we care too much about, are just not the point.
Right.
Like, we're trying to be healthy, happy, like balanced people.
Right. What are you doing on a daily basis? You know, like what are
Right.
your habits? What's your lifestyle?
Right.
Focusing on that sort of high level, I think is important.
If you're not doing burpees like, you know, the Marine Corps way,
Right.
and maybe you're
Right.
doing it the Gladiator boot camp way.
Right. Yeah.
You
Semantics.
want to argue over, tit for tat.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Do you think there's any particular community that's most
Most like that?
sticklers for things like that?
Oh, geez.
I've got an answer.
Yeah, go.
I think like a lot of times it's in the sort of like strength focused
Yeah.
community. That
I
is,
would agree with that.
but you know, I would also say probably CrossFit as well. But you know, I mean,
Yeah.
those are my feelings on it. I think everyone is
hear
liable to turn their beliefs into like sort of, you know, doctrine,
Right.
rather than being open to trying new things, open to, you know, changing their opinions on a subject.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I will say, when I did my level 2 certifications, and I was talking to all those CrossFit instructors, they're all level 3 or, you know, plus. They were very open-minded about movements and non-dogmatic about any particular diets, and they were sticklers about this particular movement being the way it was, so that they could standardize it, because within that community, it's a focus on competition and people, you know, seeing if they beat their prior records, or trying to see how they did, you know, compared to other people in their class, if they're there for that competitiveness.
Right.
So they were a stickler for it in that aspect, but they're not saying that particular way to move, or that movement standard, was 100, you know, better than these other movements. But when you take it down a couple notches, and there's, you know, a newbie person who just rolls up in there and hasn't, you know, heard it from the top, why they're doing what they're doing, they can just be like, oh, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, for sure. That's usually,
and I think that's the issue.
That's usually at the level. It's like kind of like novice, or somebody who's just learned a little bit about something in particular,
that's
where they're
always how it
they're most adamant about, you know, kind of like
Yeah.
preaching the gospel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like to call it, like, there's like your A athletes who are like at the top of their game, and they win everything. Like, they're the best. And often I feel like they are super open-minded, really well-rounded, and think deeply about training and all these things, and biohacking and their lifestyle. And then there's the group right below them that like can see the people at the top, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they just got there and they're like, oh, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I know everything.
Right.
And so they're the people that are most likely, I think, to still have their ego like not in check.
To not know what they don't know.
Yeah, but it's so weird. Like, all the best athletes and the best trainers and the best scientists, super humble.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gotta be.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, you're not going to potentially expose yourself to new things that could give you a competitive advantage.
Right. If you can't ever be wrong,
right,
you can't change.
Yeah. So
We're learning things.
man, look at that. So we got a wholesome little point out of that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we were
I
gonna
thought
sit
we were
here and
just
just
gonna
rant.
bash
Yeah,
on
yeah.
things the entire time. Like I was already talking about this one guy that won't rack his weight.
That's me, yeah. No. So what else? Any other pet peeves?
So last one, the belief that there's one diet or
Right. Same thing
one
with the
exercise,
workout.
which we
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
really pretty much
Hey,
talked
listen,
about.
it's carnivore. That's it. Just
Carnivore
eat
diet.
meat. Eat meat. Raw liver. I'm on the raw liver diet.
Ooh.
That's all I eat.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That and maybe
So-
some brains.
Yeah. Raw.
All
liver
parts,
and
nose to
brains.
tail.
No, I mean, I think the thing with dieting in general, because I think, what's this newest documentary on veganism?
Oh, Game Changers.
Game Changers.
Yeah, just
Everyone's-
watched it.
Everyone's talking about it. What do you think?
So first off, Game Changers, you converted half of my family to vegetarian. So
It's very effective.
I mean,
I've heard people
Good
talking
work.
about it, like people that I've never heard.
cinematically, it's beautiful.
Yeah, people I've never heard like talk about diet at all. I've seen this movie and they're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna be a vegetarian now. You know, it just makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, and that's cool. You know, like that's the purpose
Yeah.
of the documentary. Good for them for making something that's very effective. But yeah, I think like with any talk about diets, and you're obviously the expert. You can speak to this more than I can. When any talk about diets, there again are things that are going to work for specific people,
Right.
and there are reasons, motivations for having a diet, whether it's
Correct.
For nutrition or for your personal beliefs, and that's never just going to be like a one size fits all.
I agree. So first off, I think if you're doing it for religious or moral reasons, like for sure do it. Like go
Yeah.
for it.
Do whatever makes you feel good.
Follow your heart.
Yeah.
But I think that if you are going to be a vegan or a vegetarian, you need to supplement. So there's just some stuff that you're not going to easily get.
Definitely.
It's not as bioabsorbable from plants, and in the quantities that you need it, you couldn't eat enough plant material and push it through your stomach. Like your stomach empties slower with all this fiber,
Right.
you're going to get full quicker. It's
Cows have what, 2 stomachs, 4 stomachs or something? They get-
four, I believe.
Yeah, they got much more room for that type of thing. But also it's the same thing with like any extreme diet. Like if
Right.
you go, like that's why I joked about carnivore in the beginning. It's like I'm sure you've got
Right.
most people have to supplement with carnivore as well.
Also,
You
yep.
know, the thing that bothers me about Game Changers though, and I've heard this and I haven't verified it, so Google it for yourselves. James Cameron's a producer for Game Changers, right?
Okay.
He, from what I've heard, is a big investor in meatless, like Beyond
Oh.
Meat products.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we got
I feel
one
like
of the
that
best
needs to be
directors,
stated.
one of the top directors in the world
They
making
just
this documentary.
decided to buy in.
Right. So I mean, and he personally benefits, in the millions of dollars from a lot of people now
Right.
buying these products because they're vegetarian or vegan. So look that up for yourselves. Obviously, I haven't
Yeah.
Googled it myself, but
I personally think that the healthiest diet would have to at least be at a pescatarian level of consumption of animal products.
yeah.
Like if you wanted to really get everything, you could be pescatarian, eat salmon, oysters, and a variety of different sea products, and you could get everything you needed
Yeah.
from just diet without supplements.
Hmm.
And again, you could also do that as just a plant-based plus some meat, some salmon, some poultry,
There you go.
just sometimes.
Sometimes, not
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah, I think so. That I'm on the opposite end. I'm attempting to incorporate more plants in my
Good.
diet, less carbs. But yeah, it's like again, same thing with the workout, same thing with the diet. You gotta
Yeah.
be open to new possibilities, to trying new things and see what happens.
And not to mention, like, the diet that's right for you is even going to change throughout your life.
Good point. Yeah.
So as you get older, you're going to need more protein to save away losing muscle, losing bone. You're going to need more calcium, magnesium, vitamin D. You're not going to be converting your vitamin D as easily. And you're going to need supplements. Like you start making less stomach acid. You don't digest your food as well. anyways, I could go on and on. So, anyways, I'm gonna stop.
What do you think? No, I'm curious though. What do you think? Like, when does that usually happen? Like mid?
So there's a hard line at 70.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, where we see a drastic increase in muscle loss and bone loss, and so this was in people who are not overly active.
Yeah.
It was just taken from a normal American population, so they weren't put on a workout routine. So what I will say though is people who, and a couple of my clients are in their 70s, people who continue to work out into their 70s do not have muscle loss and bone loss, and if they do, it's insignificant.
Interesting. So yeah, you just gotta keep working out.
Right. So they think maybe it's not only due to hormonal changes, but also some of those physiological changes, lowered stomach acid absorption and all that.
Right. You're just not absorbing stuff as well. Cool.
Anyways,
good to know.
Good to know.
I'll keep that in mind for 40 years, 45 years from now.
So, whoops. Okay, sorry, we're still going.
Yeah.
Low battery warning.
Yeah.
So, moving on to New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
Tom is very deep. That's why we had Tom on here today.
Very deep. Or
soulful.
Or
just look into his eyes.
I'm very deep, or I'm very confused.
Isn't it the same thing? Weren't all
Pretty
the
much.
philosophers?
Sure. Yeah. It's just about not knowing things.
Knowing that you don't know.
What are my? Is the question? What are my?
Oh yeah.
What are my resolutions? Okay, so one thing that I'm working on right now. Started out January 1st. I've cut out alcohol entirely, and I've cut out sugar. So I'm doing that for the next 3 months.
And you're eating more plants.
And I am hopefully going to eat more plants. That one wasn't like official, but I
Okay.
guess I'll make it official now. It's official now.
He's eating more plants.
More plants. And yeah, that's a big one for me. I've got goals related to business and life. One practice that I've been employing every day that I think's really been helpful and super basic, super simple, super effective is practicing gratitude every single day. And I created this little gratitude notepad where it just prompts me hey, what am I grateful for today? And whether it's in the morning, right when I wake up, or right before I go to bed, it's right by my bedside table, and I just write down one thing every single day that I'm grateful for. And I think that's really helpful because a lot of people talk about happiness.
Right.
I want to be happy. And I think it's that, I don't want to tell people that they shouldn't want to be happy, but I think gratitude is something that you're consciously practicing, whereas happiness is something that is an emotion that can you can experience that, or you can not experience that based on all sorts of things.
Right.
And so just being aware of here are the things that I have, and I'm glad I have those things, or here are the things that could have happened that didn't happen, and I'm glad that they didn't. You know, that's a conscious practice, and it's been really helpful for me. So.
Yeah, I think in a way that's training your brain to look for
the good
things
stuff
to be happy about.
Absolutely. And I do feel that doing that, the process of actively looking for things to feel good about gives you more things to feel good about.
Yeah.
You see more things that you're oh, that's great too. So I don't want to get too woo-woo magical about it, but I think it's been really helpful, and I recommend it to anybody that just wants to enjoy life a little more.
Yeah. I think that's great. So is that your...
That's pretty much it. I mean, we could go into more details, but I won't bore you guys with specific stuff.
No,
How about you?
So my number one New Year's resolution is to pick up a hobby that has no use other than I like doing it.
That's great. That's a really good one. Yeah. I was thinking about that recently, all the stuff that I do as hobbies.
It's all work related.
Right. It's I'm getting a skill from this. This is going to turn me into the person I want to be.
I'm going to inspire
the
world.
No, just do something for the fun of it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be?
So right now I'm thinking painting, or photography, but I feel like photography would go business.
For
so
sure.
I think I have to go painting.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna buy my paintings. So it's not a threat.
Yeah. No, I think that one would be great, and it's probably like photography. You kind of do a little bit of that already. So this painting's kind of completely new.
Exactly.
And probably a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, or just like you gotta like kind of understand it. You know, you gotta try new things out. So
Right.
I'd go for that one.
Painting.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm excited to be painted.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean.
You're gonna start doing portraits of everyone.
100%.
You should do that for every guest.
I should.
You should paint a portrait.
Hey guys. Here you go. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be really great, actually. So looking forward to that. I gotta be a guest again.
Another thing to hang in the back of your closet.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Any other ones?
So that was my first one. My second one is having a friend date every week that is not working out.
Yeah.
We're not making a podcast.
Yeah.
We're not going on a run together. You know, it has no other function.
Yeah.
Other than I want to connect with and hang out with my friend.
That's a great one. Again.
Yeah, because again, like I only hang out with my friends when I'm doing workouts or podcasts or like I don't just like go out.
Yeah. I think I think both of those are about work-life balance. Right?
Correct.
You know,
and I swung like way hard like work.
Yeah. That's cool. You know, sometimes you gotta do that. But yeah, those are great resolutions.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Looking forward to those.
The paintings, especially.
Yeah, for real. I better be painted.
100%. Actually, the first painting. So guys, I got a picture of an albino squirrel when I went for Christmas home.
Yeah.
It's gonna be of that.
Nice. Cool.
I like animal portraits. I like animals. Cats are my favorite, but albino squirrel is a real close second.
Isn't that your spirit animal?
No, that is a bear cat.
Okay.
That's my spirit animal.
Bear cat. All right, I see it.
Yeah, they're very, very vicious. You don't want to corner a bear cat.
Good to know.
But anyways, so, and I think as far as sticking with your resolution, since I promised that we were going to give tips about that, we have not yet. We've just gotten derailed on spirit animals.
You got tips? I got tips.
Go.
I think a big one that I've heard, just keeping track. If it's something that you're going to be doing daily, or if it has any sort of regularity, you have to keep track of it in a schedule. Like you've got to have some manual process of checking it off the list, and the focus is just in continuing the checking off of that list. That's like any habit building, and I don't know what studies have shown this, but I think it's around like 60 to 90 days.
Right.
It's like in that 2+ months of doing something is when it actually becomes a habit.
Yeah, and physically writing it down. Madison, neurologist, was telling me that when I was writing out like my New Year's resolutions and all that, but actually writing it down does much more in the brain and makes it stick. So you want to write it down and cross it off.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So your gratitude list, like you're actually writing it.
Hey, I knew there was something good about that.
Yeah, no, it's the best. Like,
I love making lists.
I do too.
It's like one of the best things ever, and especially when you cross things off.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah, I have 3 different lists actually that I keep
going simultaneously.
Yeah, so like I have my big calendar.
Right. Long term.
Yeah.
Longer term.
Yeah, and then I have my daily scheduler. Just has time thing. And then I have my time block sheet.
For the day.
Yeah, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blah, blah, blah. I got to be done by 7. And so I started doing that, so I block out my time. So I'm like, training. This is when I run.
Right.
This is when I'm doing social media. This is when I'm doing this. If it's not the time to do that, and I actually planned in like me time. Like don't do anything.
Yeah, it's important.
It is important.
Like a nap?
Yeah, that would fall into me time, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe self-massage, some foam rolling. That's self-torture. That's not me time.
Yeah, use one of those massage guns.
Ooh, I haven't used one of those. Sponsor me. Sponsor.
Yeah, we'll get one of those on here. Yeah, no, I think that's great. Like the monthly schedule, daily schedule. But yeah, whatever the New Year's resolution is, I think another thing that's really helpful is creating accountability for it. So writing it down is one thing, and then telling somebody about it, telling somebody that you're close to, because it's harder to just hold yourself accountable.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not even about, you don't even necessarily have to ask someone like, hey, can you make sure I do this? But just like having it out in the world, that it's like public knowledge that you're doing this new thing.
Yeah.
Really helpful to make sure that you do something, because the fear of being publicly shamed is a real one.
Yeah, greatest fear.
So, yeah, just telling people, hey, I'm doing this, and here's the amount of time I'm doing it for, and I'm starting now. That's a great way to make sure that you get your New Year's resolutions done, for sure.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. By the way, as always, if y'all have questions, post it in the comments below. And just to give y'all a little idea of what's coming as far as content creation from me. So we're going to be putting out podcasts every single Thursday. So that's going to be the drop date. It's on Spotify, iTunes, and the video cast is going to be on YouTube. If you want to see what our faces look like, or maybe what we're wearing.
Yeah.
So also I have made a couch to 5K obstacle racing plan. And so I'm going to be sort of teasing that out for a little bit, and it's going to drop here in the next few weeks.
Nice.
So be on the lookout for that. And I guess have a happy and healthy week.
Happy, healthy week.
Thanks for coming back on the show, Tom.
Thank you so much for having me.